So your question is, you've got three different spheres of influence in three different states. How do you manage those? Okay,
Right.
so when we're doing value and we're adding value consistently over time, we want to make sure we're looking at like, how do we deliver value, the best value to the most people, but still not drive ourselves crazy, right? Because ideally, it would be great if you could do a market update for every single person you knew and say,
Right.
let's talk about your real estate situation and just go do a quick review of what your real estate situation is so you know what the numbers are. For the ones
Right.
that are like, okay, so the ones that are renters, you're going to say to them, okay, let's go through your real estate review. You don't own real estate, okay? So how much money are you spending on rent every month? You're spending $15,000 on rent every month. You do that
Right.
times 12 months. That's what, $18,000
Yeah.
that you spend every year on rent, and you get nothing back. At the end of 30 years, here's your real estate review. At the end of 30 years, if you owned this house, you'd say, I've got whatever this house is worth. $1,500 per month is probably something in the $200,000 home range. Okay,
Yeah.
so at the 30-year mark, of course, the property is going to appreciate and stuff. Let's say conservatively, it's worth $250,000.
Right.
30 years, you say, okay, I got $250,000 in my pocket. At the end of 30 years, with $18,000 a year going out, let's do the math on that because that's really kind of important. Let's see, $18,000 per year. Let's say rent doesn't go up times 30 years,
540,000.
$540,000. Okay, so here's how my conversation goes with myself as a financial review. I say to myself, hey, guys, okay, so you're paying $1,500 a month rent. That's $18,000 a year. You're going to do that. Let's say you just do that for the next 30 years. At the end of the 30 years, you say to the owner, hey, buddy, by the way, since I paid your house off, I want you to give me 250 grand back.
Right.
And the guy's like, hell
What?
no, right? I mean, there's no way they're going to do that, right? Like, thanks for paying my house off. Here's your house.
Right.
It doesn't work like that, right? But when you own the house, it's a completely different story. So here's the cool part. The owner made $540,000 off of you, and his house is worth $250,000 in the end. So really, what did he actually get net from you when it's all said and done? I don't know. Let's see. $790,000 is what the landlord totally netted on that place, minus expenses and so forth and so on. But again, keep in mind, we kept this didn't cover any appreciation or rents going up. This is just if it's stuck at 1,500. I'm going to tell you what, in 30 years, it's going to be more than 1,500, way more than 1,500, right?
Right.
So let's say this is a conservative number. He put $790,000 in his pocket. You paid him rent, and his house is still worth 250 at the end. Oh yeah, and by the way, he can do that for the next 30 years also, or give it to his kids. So he can do this twice. So people go, well, Russ, the rich keep getting richer and the poor keep getting poorer. Well, no shit, Sherlock. Here's why.
Right.
And they go, oh, well, you got a point there, Russ. That's a damn good point, right? So when somebody says, how motivated are you to stop being a renter? They're like, well, but I don't want to have to mow the lawn and blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to have to do repairs to the house. And I'm going, okay, so would you like to have $250,000 at the end of 30 years in your pocket? Or zero? Not only that, but let's say it's not only 250, but you have net put yourself financially in the hole $540,000, because not only do you not get this, you've paid more money than the 250.
Right.
You've paid $290,000 more than the 250 you would have. So you've actually put yourself $500,000 in the hole over the last 30 years, not getting 250 ahead. Right? So I would rather cash a check for 250 at the end than spend 540 to get to the same point where I have zero.
Sure.
Spend $540,000 to get to zero. So now, Mr. or Mrs. Renter, are you more motivated or less motivated to actually seriously say, I don't care what it takes, I need to go after a house? This is why people say getting a house is one of the number one top wealth building activities you can do, because not only does it give you a little bit of money at the end of 30 years, but it saves you another $290,000 on that same scenario.
Right.
So it's 250 plus the 290 that you threw away. So people go, wow, okay, well, now I'm serious. Now, maybe I need to do that latte factor thing and save that $2 or $3 every day. And my husband needs to save that $2 or $3 every day. And maybe we should discontinue the Netflix for another year or 2 or 3 until we save up enough money to be able to get a down payment enough to do an FHA loan and get in a freaking house and start paying yourself back.
That's right.
That's the conversation you have with a tenant, landlord versus tenant versus buying conversation. It completely changes the way they look at it. And they go, oh shit, their brain
Right.
just literally goes poof.
Right.
Because you
Nobody
actually
likes to
made
do the
sense.
math.
Yeah, again, don't tell them, show them what their
Right.
rent means. And
Yeah.
it changes the game, right? Okay, so complete sidebar. Glad I recorded that one.